I swear to God, I'm not cutting lines right now. I'm just.
You're not cutting lines with
packing a
my
joint.
ID. Don't let anybody zoom in on that shit. They're gonna be fucking stalking us on our front door.
What man's stalking us on our front door?
What man? Who
What
said it was a
man?
man? It might be a woman.
Could be
My
anybody.
ID. You're cutting it
Oh.
up with my ID.
Here.
There you go.
See, you pointed it out. No one would have known.
Come on. There's people out there obsessed with us. I know it.
We have another special guest today.
Welcome back to Each Other's Mothers. We have one of my favorite people of all time with us tonight. And
Same.
I am so happy about it.
We've been waiting for
everyone,
this.
put your hands together and give a big warm welcome to my friend Priscilla.
Oh my God, thank you guys. I'm
Freaking
super
cutie
excited.
pie.
Yes.
This is Stella's shaman with us today.
Thank you so much.
Anytime
for
Stella
having
sees
me.
Priscilla,
I really
she goes, "My
appreciate it.
shaman!" My shaman's
I
here.
am your shaman.
You are my shaman.
I'm your shaman.
It was like
Absolutely.
meant to happen. And when you came in my
It was
life,
so natural.
I was going through like something like really bad, and it was just so fun. You came through my door and you gave me the best advice, and you cleared me a little bit.
Good.
My
Good.
orchid is
Good.
growing. It's thriving.
This
We
bitch
went-
was
we
literally
saged the
smoking
orchid.
out some bad energy when you were here, which was really funny. I'm like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
That
What
was
are the
so
odds?
funny.
You were
I
like,
was
no.
like, just get the corners.
You're like,
Do your
you're like a
corners.
little bit more of a flick of the wrist, honey.
Yeah. It's just like
Do it like you
blow
mean it.
Blow it in the roots. Blow it in the roots.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because I needed to hear that. Like, even though like you didn't think you coming over here, what I was going through. And I wasn't even trying to ask you or take time away from Johanna on your breakfast, but it was so nice because I was so upset. And you're just like,
Yeah.
girl, this is what I
Yeah.
went through.
Right.
This is what you need to do to get better. I'm a shaman. You explain more about that. And we're going to get into that today, obviously.
Yeah, and I
Obviously.
mean, but I thank you, and I'm so glad that you were able to take that away from our conversation. But also, like, I'm never really like trying to tell anybody like you have to do this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
saying?
not I
like,
have
it,
to.
like I want it to
Yeah.
be like an empowering.
It was.
You know, like I want it to like my shaman told me, she was like, I'm not trying to teach you to follow me. I'm trying to teach you how to think for yourself. And that's who I try to emulate, right? So it's like whatever you're doing, like that all has to do with like you taking that control and like
True.
you taking
Shaman,
that
therapist,
advice
tomato,
and-
tomato, you know. It's very
Bartender,
much like
yeah.
bartender. It's like you're
You do it all, babe.
wearer of all the things. Because it's true. It's like it's like that in shamanism and it's like that in therapy. Like
yeah.
they're guiding you to the water and then seeing if you drink it or not or how you drink it.
Yeah, you know what's been really interesting, honestly, in regards to the bartending thing is I, because of my own, like, I'm pretty open about, like, my binge drinking from 18 to 29. I drank to blackout every single day, like, really consciously self-destructive.
Wow, you had your tenure
Unconsciously.
from blackout drinking.
Wow.
That's very impressive.
Yeah,
That's super
thank
impressive.
You. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you. I really
wow.
appreciate it. It was a lot of hard work.
MD professional.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
So when I had a bartending job a couple of years ago where like, I mean, granted, like the people who own the place, they were stealing money from people. So I was like, fuck it, I'm getting drunk at work. I needed like the littlest excuse to be drinking at work. And I got drunk and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I was about to turn 30 and I was like, I gotta stop. And I was like every night, like I would get a 6-pack and a quarter pint and a pack of cigarettes and like I just finish it by myself. And I was like, I gotta get away from bartending. And I left for like 6 years when I was, that was when I was like getting my yoga teacher certification, my grant writing certification, prison yoga project, whatever. Like I ended up at a nonprofit studio and they were so helpful with like helping me to get back into my body that I was like, I gotta tell everybody about. No. I wish. Like honestly, like there's this.
They say it works wonders.
There's this part of me that's like, I feel like I would really thrive. Like
no,
like,
honestly. Oh, you mean free rehab?
Like
Yeah.
Orange is a New Black kind of like
right,
vibe?
exactly. I'm like,
Oh, you would be looking at so much puss in there.
Oh my
I've
God.
never been to rehab. Like my family very much like sweeps it under the rug, you know? And so it's like they never really wanted to deal with like, we're sending our daughter to rehab, you know? And I've always kind of been like, I would love to go.
I'd love to go to rehab.
Even today when I feel like pretty in control of myself, I'm like, I still feel like I would really like to go to rehab.
100%.
I
Oh, you
feel
mean a retreat?
Just for the experience.
Yeah,
and
just for the experience
really
of
take
doing
something from
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly. But I took.
Yeah, I want to go make macaroni necklaces in the fucking woods and like take vows of silence.
I want to take vows of silence and make macaroni necklaces. Is that what you do in rehab?
I think so.
I think so. That's what they do in the movies. Sandra Bullock jumped out of a fucking window, broke her foot.
I feel like
28 days
yes.
later or something.
Did you ever see that movie with, oh my God, what is his name? The guy where he tries to land a plane, or he lands a plane, but he's drunk.
It was you, honey.
I'm like, my uncle?
That's how you got into that prison. Yeah.
No, there's a plane where somebody, anyway. But yeah, I took like 6 years away from bartending where I was just like, the things that really helped me were yoga and smoking weed. Like when I was in the throes of drinking, I felt like weed just made me like feel weird. But like what it was is it's like it makes me sit still. And it makes me
amplifies
process
your thoughts.
my thoughts and it makes me whatever. And so when I really got to this crossroads of like, are you going to die or are you going to change your lifestyle? Because that was where it was at. Like I'm going to be dead or in jail.
Absolutely.
And I started smoking weed and I would just like sit on my front porch and it was just like every fucking like thought and memory and it was just like downloading and processing and I was feeling it. And then, you know, I had an accounting job, I had my trim company, I taught yoga, whatever, but like bartending was just like such a good, like quick money kind of thing. Like I think it's a skilled trade. I think it's a respectable job. I enjoy a lot of the service industry, but like it's been really interesting having a platform where like when I'm just in a yoga class, it's like very rare for it to come up where someone's like, I have a drinking problem. When I'm bartending, very frequently I get people who are like, I don't know if I should have another drink. And I'm like, don't.
Yeah.
And they're like,
True.
what? And I'm like, don't. And they're like, well, I'm going to, like, the bill will be low. I'm like, you can still tip me $1,000 on a $1 tab. You know, like, I don't give a shit, you know, but like, I feel like I have a lot more access to people. Being in the bartending industry, which I feel like ultimately is kind of my whole thing with like shamanism and yoga and whatever is like going to the people where it's like they need it, you know, not the people who can afford it. But anyway, I'm rambling. So
hold on.
No, that's what you're here for. We love a ramble. Yes.
I didn't want to say hold on.
What's wrong?
I need to grab a lighter for this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Joint. You brought weed and Taco Bell.
What a perfect shaman.
What a perfect shaman. I'm like, you're my shaman.
do you guys
really
want to do
are.
something fun? Do you want to go to Taco Bell?
Talk about our traumas in the Taco Bell line.
No, we keep calling you shaman. There's probably a lot of people who know and a lot of people who don't know. And there's a lot of stereotypes, I would say, as well, to being a shaman.
Yes, this one is a white. Sorry,
Yes,
Mom.
this one is a
Sorry,
white shaman.
Mom.
So,
Could you explain to our listeners
and
exactly how you got into it and
actually-
what you do?
yeah, of course. So actually with the word shaman, I would like to honor my own shamanic practitioner. And she very strictly taught me to call myself a shamanic practitioner and not a shaman because we are white. So I don't refer to myself as a shaman.
I respect her now.
I don't.
Love you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Her name's not
Vicky.
Lisa. I know.
Yeah. But it's
Vicky.
like Vicky Sue Evans. I love that woman. Oh my God. Like when so
I'm about to take your spot when you leave.
please, like
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
If that
like,
means an opening is there,
Yes.
I will
Need
go
to
see
Ash.
Vicky. You can do it in there.
Yeah,
What's
do
in
it in
there?
the
Ash
butt.
in the ass.
Ash in the ass.
Or in the candle.
So
Whatever.
I had been
I'll get real weird if I hit this. Sorry,
okay.
Sham.
So no. It's actually Vicky never works with plant medicine. Which a lot of people are surprised about,
Yeah.
which I think is something that
The devil's lettuce is upon me. I'm gonna get high. People don't believe in contact buzz. I get contact
when
buzz.
I was like a little kid, my grandpa used to come up from New Orleans and he just chain smoked cigarettes, and I was 1,000% addicted to secondhand cigarette smoke.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
like
Yeah.
I loved it.
You'd
I
hear
was
that
like,
lighter
pop,
click.
pop's here.
Yeah.
I was like super into
Ooh,
it.
Mama's getting high tonight.
Yeah, I was like, he brought shrimp, and I got secondhand smoke. And like, yeah, it was the best.
That's
Amazing.
I love pop.
me too.
We all do.
But
I actually just took a tolerance break until about a couple days ago. I haven't smoked
How
in
long
like
was your break?
a week. Which,
Still.
you know
No,
what?
that's great. A week is a
I
minute.
felt like I think I did the best I have at my job this week.
Being clear-headed.
Being so like all my senses being like aligned,
Oh,
or like
absolutely.
my senses were so heightened.
Did your dreams come back?
Oh, crazy ass shit.
Yep.
I even wasn't smoking when we went to we went to that art thing. I wasn't. I mean, I had a joint or two when I was there, but like that's why I was having so much like I had so much anxiety, and I realized that like now I smoked like to just be clear-headed. It made me clear-headed.
Sure.
And when I'm not smoking, I realize I'm always in my thoughts, and I'm more like not accepting to things that like aren't right. Like I'm like acting upon things more because my senses are heightened. I'm always like, oh, I don't care, or, like whatever. Like this person's hurting me. I'm just gonna continue because whatever. You know, I'm high. And now that I'm like sober, kind of a little bit more in that sense, I feel like I am just like feeling every.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. That now you're just like.
No, I need respect.
Yeah.
And I'm like really demanding it. Not even just because I'm not smoking
It's
weed
like
anymore.
dulling your
Makes me
senses.
so happy.
Right. Yeah.
It's making me be like, hello,
Yeah.
bitch. Like say something.
Right. There's like
Yeah.
a therapeutic
Numb.
aspect to it.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about where it's like maybe you need to like shut up and listen for a minute. But like when you actually need to like protect yourself and like stand up for yourself and whatever, like I feel like if alcohol is kind of at like the bottom of like most enlightening, you know, neurotoxins or whatever, weed would kind of be at this midpoint where it's like you could use it therapeutically or it could be detrimental.
Well,
like,
it's what I
depending
did
on
my
where
whole.
you're at,
I
you
never
know?
drank. I didn't drink until I was like 21. Till like 20, I started, but like till I really turned 21. Even during COVID, I couldn't go to the bar, couldn't go out.
Good for you. I started drinking when I was like
smoked.
13.
24.
Oh my God.
I just started
She started
drinking
drinking
heavily,
yesterday.
like
I'm
heavily when I came to Imperial.
You turned 24 yesterday?
No.
Jesus
in April,
Christ.
pretty much April.
April. Oh,
Yeah.
hi, April.
Oh, we're Aries, baby. Ah!
When is
I
your
keep
birthday?
eating them. April 6th.
I'll see my
April
way out.
16th.
Oh, we talked about this.
Oh my God.
What's your
I'm
birthday?
11
February
years
1st,
older
Aquarius
than
as
you.
fuck.
I remember 1999, like actively. It's such a weird thing,
I
like
do
getting
too.
into your 30s.
You're
where it's
35?
Like, I'm 35.
Yeah.
No
So
way.
it's like
So yeah, you would remember the 90s.
Yeah,
I was
so like it's this
3
weird thing because
or-
it's like when you're in your 20s and people are like 10 years ago, you're like, I was in grade school, I was in
Yeah.
high school, I was in internet, right? And now you're like, oh, 10 years ago I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing. Like I feel like your 30s, I mean, I don't know, like maybe this will, I suppose it perpetually keeps happening, but like 30s, I feel like I'm in this entry point of people being this is the first time where people are born at a point that I remember that they don't. Like
Yeah.
in my 20s, like everyone was still kind of like, oh, I'm
Sure.
X amount of, you know, and we like
Absolutely.
whatever. But this, like, especially like working or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's like working with, you know, our barbacks and everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, did you ever listen to System of a Down? And I'm like, that album came out 2 years before you were born, and I listened to it. Then actually I could be your mother. Like I really am like
it's blowing my mind. It's blowing
such
my
an
mind.
interesting thing, and I don't mean to, I remember
but
when I was 24 and people I remember when I was 24. I remember when people were 35 when I was 24.
Yeah.
Like wait till you're 35. Like I hate that rhetoric.
But you know what's so fun?
But it's so mind-blowing. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
And it's just true.
I don't want to cut you off. What I'm saying is, I've always hung out with people older than me. Since I've been 16, I went to alternative school. My friends were talking to 30-year-old men owning strip clubs. I'd go out with them all the time, but I would never. I get bottle service. I get anything I possibly want. I never did anything. I was like the happiest. Like I don't need this to make me who I am. And this was like a time I always think about in my life of where I was just so sober and happy. And like, if I could get there again, I can. And I just had my little weak taste of it, which was so nice. But now I think about like, ooh.
Sorry, I have
Mic drop.
No, it's okay. I think about like, damn, like if I didn't start drinking, I would still just be smoking. I'd probably be a lot like happier and probably wouldn't put myself in so many situations that weren't good. Like alcohol really has not been my friend.
No.
After work and maybe one or two after I did a hard ass shift, you know, okay. Once in a while, totally fine. But drinking all the time, like I don't go out as much as I do. Like I go out maybe around locally, but I don't even count that as like going hard, partying at the clubs, doing drugs. Like, I'm very like, I just don't do that anymore. I kind of feel a FOMO from it now, seeing everybody.
But for what?
But no, but like even going.
I mean, you're 24. You'll get over it.
But even going to that big art party thing we went to, tons and tons of people drinking, smoking, balloons, everything. And I did a little bit of everything besides, hard drugs. I had a balloon.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Here's your gold star.
But babe, you're still 20.
No, I
like
know.
I'm not trying to diminish it. Like I honor you where you're at.
But I just look around and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what are these people doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad that you're having that awareness now.
Yeah.
I think you're way fucking ahead of the game if you're already being able to.
And I'm only saying this because dating, like I've been dating a lot lately, and everyone that I've talked to drinks, smokes, does coke, does K, and I'm just like, I don't want that. And the people that don't think I'm crazy because I work in a bar or I'm around people who do, you know what I mean? So it's just like a weird, it's not that I don't support, and I think people are weird that do that stuff. I just like don't think I want to surround myself with that anymore, which is hard because in being in the LGBTQ community, it's so around.
Right.
And I'm not going to judge my friends for it,
Honestly, LGBTQ plus community is also more prone to that, right?
They are,
you know, I mean,
yeah, we're all sad and confused and horny. Why wouldn't we be drunk?
Right, of course. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Literally.
I know I'm holding a beer right now, and it's quite frankly delicious and
Not
cold.
judging you guys. No,
I'm not.
drink your
Look,
Coke.
I talk
No,
about
that's not what I'm
alcoholism
saying.
and harm reduction all the
Harm
time.
reduction,
but like,
I do want to get to that. I think
I'm sorry
that,
to bring that all up right now. It was so
no,
much.
please.
No, it's fine. We're having a free-flowing conversation with our free-flowing vaginas and our minds and our shaman and our joint that is definitely getting me high.
Contact
Haven't hit it once. I realize I'm holding a beer. I just think that honestly, alcohol is so fucking stupid. It's the dumbest thing I have evered, and I have been drinking for so long. I've started drinking when I was 13. I've always been around it. I'm from a very Hispanic foreign fucking family. Like all they do is drink. All they do is
Same.
it's a culture.
Right.
It's whatever.
Well, you know our moms and how everyone. I mean, my mom's worse.
Absolutely.
But
Well, all my best friends I grew up with, they all came from broken homes. A lot of them are gay. A lot of them are blah blah blah. So it's like, we're all like lost and like drunk all the time. But I'm getting to a point where I'm like, for you to mention FOMO, it's like I don't even have the fucking FOMO anymore. Like, and I don't know if
that's a really seriously tough part of it.
It is
for me being
and I'm
24.
I'm such a social
baby.
butterfly.
Am I missing experiences like because I'm not participating?
But here's the thing,
That's what we're trying to tell you.
Right.
But
I've
you're
done
not
it
missing out
already.
on shit.
It's hard.
Listeners, you're not
it's
missing
hard
out on shit.
But it's so hard to take somebody's word for that at that age. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like it's so hard to like.
I've partied it up. So I'm just
there's
like, oh my God, what do I do now? What's next?
So there's this
Focus on saving your
this
money and
quote.
going on a walk. I don't
walk
know.
everywhere.
There's this
No,
really
I know you
excellent
do.
quote. I want to really read it really quick.
I love that.
It was from when I got my grant writing certification. And
Now we're just bragging.
no. It's a grant writing certification from Wayne County Community College, Detroit. And it's like 400.
This is a comedy podcast, so I am going to make fun of you probably every 5
the
Mississippis.
joint and read it,
so
baby.
I have a picture of my cat.
yeah, hit the
like,
joint
behind the thing.
and
That's
find
hilarious.
your sense of
That's
humor.
so funny.
But the quote that so Eckhart Tolle's books, A New Earth, his book A New Earth was like really just like probably one of the largest parts of my therapy was like let me read this quote and then I'll go into my whole thing about therapy. Okay, so this quote is, having gone through that cycle, we quicken it for others. Our stories shorten the time others spend lost in what they do not want. Sometimes our exploration of that territory is enough to prevent others from getting there at all.
Just
I
kidding.
know, I know, it's boring as fuck,
No,
but
it's
like that, but
beautiful.
like I took this
It's
with
real.
like the right, like so.
It's real.
It's like as much as
So
it's like
hard.
I don't expect you to take it. It's
I know, I
like
listen.
I do hope that like while we're sitting at this table and I tell you right now what I went through,
Please.
that like it will shorten it for you. And like I don't believe that people have to hit rock bottom. I fucking hate like the.
They have to be rock
You have to
bottom.
let people hit rock. No, you don't. You can intervene at any fucking point. Like, I mean, I'm not saying spend all of your time and energy like being an enabler and like that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
But some people have this theory that you have to let people hit rock bottom, and I don't think that you do. Like you can take that experience and then you can transmute it into something else, and that is primarily like why I share as much as I do, right? Like, and I wish more people would share.
Absolutely.
Because what I also find interesting, and I try to reiterate this as much as possible, is like, because I'm open about drinking. I have never, ever once, look it up, I've never said I was sober. Like, never.
Yeah.
I've always smoked weed. I've always done harm reduction. It's fluctuated, you know?
Right.
I've gone through periods of like months and months and months and months of no drinking. When I was first quitting drinking, I was smoking like half an ounce of weed almost a day, you know, like, and just like, I was taking Rick Simpson oil, which is like
that shit's hardcore.
That shit is for like cancer patients. And I was taking
my
that.
ex used to do that all the time. He'd be like out.
It was, so I had...
What form does that come in?
It comes in
It's
a
an oil.
syringe.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
shit.
like a black gunky tar that comes in a syringe.
It's hardcore. It's really
and
hardcore.
You're drinking it?
I would literally like put it in my... I would take a syringe and put it in my mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was so...
Careful.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I just kind of want to go over this really quick because like it precedes my shamanic background, right? I'm not like some white asshole trying to like 100%. Capitalize on this. Like, and no disrespect to all of those who do, I suppose, but
Fuck them. Fuck them. No.
Oh God, I swear.
Disrespect.
I just keep ashing all over the table.
Well, the shamanic lineage that I learned from is Peruvian.
Obviously,
so,
the best. Yeah.
So,
the root of it all. You're welcome.
The root of it all.
Okay, so
Me and my Americanized ass.
The root of it all.
De nada.
Wait, what did I say last episode?
La raza.
La raza.
Yeah, but that's Mexican and that's not me, so.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Good on that.
Thank you.
See, look, harm reduction right before our eyes.
This is it in action.
Yep.
So I had childhood trauma, as we all do, and Catholic school.
Oh my God,
my
same.
whole life, fucking worst. And you know, worrying about money at a young age, and like going to school with people who didn't have to worry about money, and getting like anger issues and jealousy issues, I think, in that time, and like not having control over my own time. My house was very strict. And I developed sleep issues at like a really young age, like 10. And when I was going to the doctor, I feel like it was very like brushed off, like, oh, it's puberty, or it's this, or it's that, you know, but like, the doctors used to be like, you can stay up and read until you fall asleep, but like my house had a really strict like lights out time at 10, you know?
Right.
And I read so much more about this as an adult, where it's like teenagers have this circadian rhythm where they sleep from like 2 a.m. until 10 a.m. You know, like that's natural. Like they're not sleeping it, like they're just up later, and like that's what's happening hormonally. They're just up later, they sleep later.
This is
like what is time, right? But
what is time? Yeah. What's wrong? It's not going out. What's in there?
I don't know.
Why did you ash in there if there was stuff in there?
There's some stuff in there.
Oh my God.
There's a dog collar in there. A dog tag.
It's Romeo's. It's not Ruka's. So
Oh.
it's okay. Romeo's been dead for years.
okay.
I'm still sorry to cut that all off.
So we're gonna have to have a fire ceremony at some point.
Do we need? Oh my gosh, so much.
Romeo. Oops. Sorry, Marissa.
Oh,
the table.
You're in your.
Okay,
you're-
sorry. Go ahead. And then what?
No, it's fine. So I
Smokey the Bear.
Like money shit, Catholic school shit, like not
The
doing
worst.
good in school.
Being
lot of
poor
it being
and
brushed
diddled.
off. Yeah, like a lot of it being brushed off to like, you're a bad kid. I remember this one teacher was just like, well, you're just a terrible student.
I got
like,
the same treatment for my
yeah,
teachers,
like,
and it was
literally,
like, no, I
you're
actually
you're
like need a
bad
hug and maybe a meal.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honest to God, like, who the fuck are these people who like? If I were a teacher and these
Ooh.
conversations,
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry,
like that.
about
That was
like
hot.
That's hot.
like if you like you don't get it if you're not a parent. Like I did you ever see what is his name? There's this stand-up comedian, this Jewish guy.
Oh God.
He's so fucking funny.
Do you know him, Joe?
We're going to have to be more specific.
He's so fucking funny, but he has this thing where, like, he talks about people who are like, oh, you're not a parent, you don't get it. And he was like, I don't know how to fly a helicopter, but if I see one on fire in a tree, I know that that's not supposed to be happening, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that so much. Like, I maybe I sound like a fucking ignorant asshole, but, like, I was in a school that only had 400 kids in it. Like, it was not overcrowded,
that's so tiny.
right?
Yeah.
And I would come to class like with my hair not brushed, and I would be asleep on my desk, and I wouldn't have my homework done, and I was like lashing out, like, I mean, fucking obviously, you know? And like the amount of adults around me who were just like, well, you're just bad, you're just not gonna like I'm not, this is like verbatim, dude. Like, you're like, nothing's going to, like, if you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere. And that's such a crock of shit. And it's like, it's just, I wish that like people would have told me this when I was younger, and this is why I feel like it's like it can cause problems, like when you say things out loud, but at the same time it's like, I fucking wish somebody would have said this to me, where it's like, you can go to community college and you can get your grades up, and then you can reapply to college, and you can do whatever the fuck you want, and you can do that at any age, and like, this is not determining your future. But
absolutely,
I didn't think I didn't get into very many colleges. I didn't want to go to community college locally because it was so shame based at my college prep school to be like, oh, you're a fucking idiot if you go to community college. Which is,
that's stupid.
How dare you? Like, how? It
was the same for me. I felt a lot of pressure too.
I
went to school with a lot of people who had money.
I didn't even go to college. Napoleon Dynamite. Your mom goes to college.
You've heard it.
What?
Cool dudes by dead. What's it?
I never know.
Cool dudes by dead.
Different movie, but yeah, it was like such a stigma at my school to even go to community college. Like my freshman year, people had their tuition paid for at like U of M and State and whatever.
Yep.
And
that's
I
so
remember,
hard to be like,
I remember this fucking girl one time being like, "Where are you going to college?" Like 9th grade. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have to do high school. I'm like, trying to see where I go, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I'm going to wherever it's already paid for. And
that's
I was
like the goal.
I don't think I have that. And she was like, well, what, are you just going to end up homeless or something?
Oh,
and
Jesus.
I was like,
you were like, I already am.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So like, it was just like that. And then like pressure at home, whatever. And so like, I traveled to New York a lot when I was a kid. And I have an uncle who brought me like to his comic book conventions after high school. And I ended up just moving to LA. Like, it was like this thing like, oh, I'm not going to be like a fucking loser and go to Henry Ford and live with my dad, you know, like, because it sounded so lame compared to my friends who were like leaving to go to like a big university, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like do this other extreme thing, and I left, and like alcohol was just instantly a problem. And I think it was because of like my sleep issues and like my anxiety issues. In hindsight, it was like I was falling asleep for the first time and like sleeping through the night. And it was kind of like fun and silly at first. And
so you were 18?
I was 18. I lived in LA for like 6 months, and I was a real fucking jerk when I was living with my uncle and kind of fucked that up. And I was like, I'm going to go live in New York, you know, instead of like apologizing or getting my shit together. And went and lived with another family member, and I had a 35-year-old boyfriend who was he's like a very famous comic book artist, I guess. For
that's kind of cool.
I'm not, well, I mean, like, I see. Okay, so like, I don't know. I mean, now that I am 35 and I look at 18-year-olds, I'm like, ugh. Like, what a, like, I remember people being like, that's weird. And I was like, I'm mature and we love each other.
Yeah.
Hilarious, though. Honestly. Not the age difference, but the fact that he was like this guy, you know? And then also the fact of what you told me earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
I got one lash on and one not. What are we talking about?
I know, I saw that. I saw that at the table, but I was like...
Say it.
What?
My lash...
Tell you? Yeah, you have one lash on.
I know.
I thought you would have known.
She knows
I wasn't going to... I was like, do you?
No, my lash extensions are falling out because, one, I don't know why. Number two, I've been sleeping like a weirdo in everyone else's house. But here,
I do know why.
So now I have to go get them done, but I have to take them off. And I can't afford to get them all done right now. So I'm going to be like, I feel bald. And so I'm like,
why don't you
this
take
is
your
why
ass
I
to
just don't do
CVS
anything.
and just get some, have
I
Jenna
can't.
take you. She'll find you
My
the right perfect
grandmother's
ones.
been gluing on her eyelashes every morning for like 70 years.
should I just
Yeah,
start
that's
doing
Jenna.
that? Should I just start?
Just glue your lashes on. Who made up this whole
just
extra?
glue your
yeah.
lashes
Glue-
on.
My grandmother used to wake up. She goes, "Grammy's got to put a face on." Is what she
I
used
love
to say.
that. You have a grandma.
Grammy.
Once in a while, your accent comes out, and it is chef's kiss. I
Dude.
love it.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Obsessed with
It's
it. New York.
Yeah, like
I
2
like it.
C's thick. Like, okay, so when I used to get like wasted,
When you were 18, fucking a 35-year-old.
18, yeah, when I was
Me
an
too.
18-year-old fucking a 35-year-old.
Me too,
In
girl.
New York City.
That's so hot.
I do want to really quick. This is the thing that I wanted to talk about earlier because, like, during your intro, and I loved that you said this today on a perfect day that we saw each other, because now it's here. The conversation is here. The fact that you were talking about you are someone, because of the way that the stars are aligned for you, you are someone that is meant to be like reborn over and over again.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
you've died a bunch of times, and which is so like clear to us now as you're sitting here, even just starting
you're
at
reborn.
18. Like
It's, yeah.
even just in that span of 6 months from LA to New York, like
Sure.
people in their 30s do that move, you know, like you did it when you were 18, like you're a child. So to be that person at 18 and like enter this world and then be out of it, and now here you are, obviously, and there's been things along the way, but that just seems so true and fitting for you.
Because like I don't really feel like I think about it from that perspective a lot, you know?
Right.
I don't really know what it's like to be in one place.
Right.
I don't know what it's like to have a stable career. I don't know what it's like to have a long-term relationship. I don't know what it's like to it's a struggle, but then like
maybe the one thing about you that is stable is that you're ever changing.
Yeah,
But can I but wait.
that's precisely like the conundrum, you know, like it's this really interesting. So what I was talking about earlier was Pluto Scorpio first house.
Right.
So like a lot of us are Pluto Scorpio, and I think that's like a 15-year long thing or so. And it's like this very subconscious thing normally, but like you have to think of scorpions like skin shedding and like toxin, and like, you know, they're very mysterious, and like your first house has a lot to do with
My Pluto's in Scorpio.
Yeah. So I mean, like
Which
we all
looked up
experience.
last time,
I mean,
sorry.
I'm not trying to be like I'm so unique having these
No,
death
not at all.
No.
That's not how I
because
take it.
I don't
I think it's true for everyone.
It is. It absolutely is. Like, so in shamanism, there are 4 levels of perception, and it's not that like one is above the other one. They all exist with each other at the same time. It's like Russian nesting dolls. And so the innermost perception is the level of serpent. This is associated with the direction of south. This has to do with your physical body. This has to do with like if you fell off a mountain and broke your leg, you've got to go into serpent perspective because you have to deal with this like physical level, right? Survival. You'll also see this in regards to the root chakra. The root chakra has to do with like the same thing as Maslow's hierarchy of needs: food, water, and shelter. Like I love the intersection of spirituality and current science, because they're all saying the same shit. It's just this is our ancestors thousands of years ago were like the serpent level of perspective. Now we talk about reptilian brain, right? Like that is the same thing. And okay, so the serpent level of perspective also has to do with skin shedding, right? The serpent is always shedding its skin to grow. And what you have to do to grow is shed the story that you're telling yourself. We've just been saying this, right? Like, is like,
I'll pass out
if
right
you're
now.
like,
yeah.
I'm an alcoholic. Like, this is why I don't like AA, where it's like, hi, I'm Priscilla, I'm an alcoholic. Like, if you're saying an I am statement, it should be like the most powerful fucking word you've ever said in your life after that.
Yeah.
Every day, every fucking, like, I don't know. There's this awesome book. It's called, I wish there was a different title. It's called Quit Like a Woman.
Damn, I do be quitting though. And I do be a woman.
Quit like
I
a
do
woman.
be quitting. That's
like,
so funny.
Look, okay, so like, I don't mean to critique a book I didn't fucking write, you know, but I wish it was just like quitting without AA, or like quitting without the patriarchy, or quitting without like quitting as somebody who's not like a cis white patriarch, right? Like AA is very much like admit that you are powerless. Most of us, LGBTQIA, trans, queer, female, people of color, BIPOC, whatever. I don't need to fucking tell anybody that I'm powerless. You know, I need to understand that I have power over this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's so much better than just being like, and so that's the whole harm reduction thing. It's like, you're going to start stopping the harmful thing, but you're also going to start doing things that are good for you.
Yeah.
Yoga, time with friends, podcasts, writing, meditating, anything else, right?
That's
Love
so
it.
crazy you bring that up, because I've been on like a whole new like leaf about that. Like, I need to find something else to do. I love walking now. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Like, I love walking, especially like around here. It's so pretty and stuff.
Right,
Not in the
Yeah.
wintertime, but
The winter can be
even
pretty.
that too. I love like being outside in nature. I've realized lately,
So,
It's
and
so
being
good
with
for
my
you.
and being with my thoughts. Like, if I'm like upset, going outside and just sitting out there, not just smoking up a drink, nothing, just like sitting out there,
allowing it
and thinking.
Yeah.
Especially like calling friends. I like hearing like opinions and like just thinking,
Sure.
like, and having my time.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite thing to do now. It's just like, I overthink so much, especially like the past week being not smoking, and like, I've been drinking a lot, but not smoking as much, which I like really felt the side effects of, but which was great. Towards like day 3, I was like,
Yeah.
like, I can breathe again. But then I had all my thoughts. Like, there's been so much that I've been numbing with. Probably not the best, you know what I mean? And I sit outside, and I just like, it's helped me think a lot better when I have not been high.
Yeah, go outside.
So
I know it's stupid. Sorry.
No. Actually, it's the most natural, intuitive thing that you could possibly be doing, and it's really insightful that you're saying that out loud, because what I've learned from my shamanic practitioner, dude, like the first day I went into her house, so she just sees people over at her house. And this was after I had so many fucking failed attempts with therapists. Like, I got to the point of almost dying with alcohol. I remember there was like a nonprofit yoga studio. I started going there, started smoking weed. I had like a really transformative experience in this like nonprofit all level studio. And I was like, I'm going to tell the good word like to all of the addicts, right?
Yeah.
And come to find out, everyone's just fucking capitalizing on it, and it makes me want to fucking puke. It's gross. I don't like it.
It is
and
gross.
Like, I quite frankly like find it offensive and don't really want to be a part of it. And I've been very ostracized from it, but I kind of feel like good. Like, you know, like it's this really other like next chapter kind of thing that I'm going through. But I've like moved from this addict community, for lack of a better word, where I was just hanging out with a bunch of other people who were drinking as much as I would. You know, like we would all take turns. Like somebody would piss themselves one night, but like you wouldn't say anything because somebody else got like punched their boyfriend in the face. And like it was just this weird thing. And then I left and I got into this community. And then I started seeing my shaman after several, like I was like doing the harm reduction with yoga and cannabis. But I felt like there was just like this depression and anxiety I like couldn't fucking break, and I needed to talk to a professional. And
Hashtag same.
I went through like therapists that I was paying out of pocket, BetterHelp, where I ended up having the 72-year-old man ask me to come to Arizona to take me lingerie shopping at Victoria's Secret after talking to him for
the app.
Literally, I screenshot it and sent it to BetterHelp, and they were like, "Oh, we'd like to recommend you to another therapist, and like, could you talk to us about this?" And I was like, I can't tell you how many times in my life there's a traumatic event where like some man acted inappropriately and I have to talk to an authority figure about it.
Looking at you.
I was like, and right now I was just going through fucking therapy and now an authority figure, leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. And so I was like, the reason I say that's
so funny, is because so many famous podcasts are sponsored by BetterHelp.
They are.
I know.
BetterHelp.
You're like
BetterHelp. I know.
Literally.
They still fucking email me, dude.
I'm sure they do.
So better lingerie shopping.
Literally, I forget what his fucking name was, but like, I had spent
That's a skin we had to shed.
Every fucking time you see a therapist, anybody who's gone through therapist knows this. You have to go through your whole goddamn history. You have to go through every fucking. It is so frustrating to have to rehash it like over and over and over and over with different fucking people every time. And I rehashed it with this dude. Excuse me. And he would give me dumb shit to do. Like it felt like but I was just like trusting like he's a therapist and I'm doing what he's telling me to do. Yeah. But he'd be like, name 3 people who love you. I'm like, my mom, my dad, my brother. You know, but like I'm not like feeling differently, you know, like I'm not whatever. So anyway, then I don't know, like we used to do Zoom calls and stuff, and I said something because it was like during COVID, but the mall was open, and I was just talking to my therapist, but I was like, I'm doing a photo shoot because I feel so fucking bad about myself that I can't look at myself in the mirror because I feel like I'm just grotesque, and like my body dysmorphia feels so bad that I'm paying a photographer to take pictures of me because I don't know what the fuck I look like anymore.
Right.
And I was like, I went to the mall and there was this line outside of Victoria's Secret, but there was this other entrance that had like a ribbon thing up. I was like, I went under the ribbon and I cut the line and I went, whatever, you know, I just like told him that. I was like, I do these weird little things where I like break the rules, like, but like nothing bad.
Sure.
But it was like during COVID and I was like, I skipped the line at Victoria's Secret, and then it was like our next session. He was like, well, you come out here and I'll take you shopping at Victoria's Secret. So like that was how it happened. So
and you're
I
like,
don't know
what
if
the
he
fuck?
would be like, she brought it up, but like
What did you say?
I didn't say anything. And then it was like the next day he was like, goodbye, Priscilla, or something. Like he must have recognized.
Yeah.
That was wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Jesus.
That's how uncomfortable. You're like, I just told you everything about my life, and now you are taking lingerie
shopping.
Right.
Right. And so I was like, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to any men. And a friend of mine was like, I think you might want to meet my shaman. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't, like, I in my head, I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I was really, really apprehensive about it. And I did not expect this, like, cheerful, like, 70-year-old white woman in tie-dye, you know, like, to just greet me at her door and be like, I mean, the first time we met, it was not like that. She was wearing all black. And I was in such a depressive mood. I was wearing an all black hoodie, like down to the ground. I had my arms and legs crossed, and I was sitting with like my back against the wall and my shoulder against the other wall. She was like, "How you feeling?" You know, and I was like, "I'm fine. Why?" Like, And she had to give me these basic instructions of like, can you sit with your arms uncrossed? Like, can you sit with your legs uncrossed? Like, can you take your hood down? Can you go buy underwear that's colorful? Because even if you're wearing all black, like on the outside, she was like, it's depressing. She was like, even if you're not like wearing color outside, like you need to be wearing color like somewhere.
Yeah.
That might have been the reason I was going to Victoria's Secret, because I didn't have any, like all my stuff is black, and so I was like, I'm gonna buy like.
I'm wearing all black and no panties.
Yeah.
Well, she means
but
like
I got a fun hat on.
Like you know, you show color through skin.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job of interjecting with like funny things every so often.
But you're wearing a green hat, and that's like
that's your color.
But I'm wearing a fun hat.
So I mean, we were just starting with like the most basic fucking shit, you know, like, and then we learned about like levels of perspective, which were serpent body level, jaguar's mind level. So there's like a whole saying of like the jaguar getting lost in the tree, and like the jaguar is your mind, the tree is your thoughts. Like, you gotta get the jaguar down, and like the more you're like scaring the jaguar, the more it's like spiking its head, you know, like, yeah. But you have to think of like a jaguar, all paw pads on the ground. Like, animals have chakras in their paw pads. They can always sense like earthquakes and whatever, right? Sure. And just like
so cool,
being clear minded, right? Like a really clear, like a calm jaguar has all of its senses about it, right? Scared jaguar up in the tree. And then like the spirit is the hummingbird. And that's also so like the hummingbird perspective would be like your individual spirit. It's connected to your ancestral perspective, whatever your lineage might be before you, trauma that you're carrying. And the hummingbird can move like backward and forward and hover. And so I remember like one time I was complaining to my shaman. I was like, I was just thinking about my ex-stepdad, and he's a fucking pervert, and I found out where he lives because I Googled it, and blah, 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 and I'm going to leave a flaming bag of dog shit on his front porch, and I'm going to tell his wife. And she was like, why don't we go up to hummingbird perspective for a second? And she was like, you know, you don't know what might have caused him to act like that in the first place. You don't know if he thinks about it all the time already and he's torturing himself and like what he's doing within his own home. And then lastly, she was like, and you don't want to reincarnate again, right? And I was like, I do not. She was like, so don't do bad karma shit. And there's so many fucking times in my life now where like that really keeps me out of a lot of trouble where I'm like, I don't want to reincarnate. I don't want to do this again, dude. Like, I'm good. Damn. She was like, I think you might be on like one of your last life cycles. Like, you're kind of close. And I'm like, yeah, because I would. Like, in the past, I would have just kind of reacted and done it and said it. And like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time.
And then the highest perspective is eagle. So eagles, you can imagine like what their perspective is like. They can see everything. They can zoom on like a mouse in a field, or they can see like the curvature of the earth. So that's like the God perspective.
Wait one second.
Yeah, let her bark. Okay.
Go back about the eagle. They hover.
Eagle perspective is like the highest perspective. If you imagine like an eagle in flight, and they can zoom in on like a field mouse, but they can also see like every treetop and the curvature. They can see all of it at the same time. So that's like the one unified consciousness. And so all of these things like yoga and shamanism and whatever, they're not really like religious, and you can kind of work them into any religious or spiritual practice. And so when you were talking earlier about going out into nature, with all these directions, serpent is south, jaguar is west, hummingbird's north, eagle is east. And then we do Pachamama, which is the earth energy. And I felt for a long time like I was lacking a lot of like female support and like matriarchal kind of energy in my life. And my shaman was like, well, if you're not getting it from women in your life, you have to go into nature. And Mother Nature being like all providing, being like where we've all come from, has this infinite capacity to absorb energy from you. Like, as a mother wants to take pain away from its child, right? It's the same with earth energy. And you can go and release absolutely everything, and she can then transmute it into like positive energy for you. So the fact that you're like, I don't know why it's like this silly thing, I just like to go into nature, you know, like, but it's not. It's like a very natural, intuitive thing.
And what's so crazy about that lately is that I've been seeing rabbits every walk, like this one rabbit every night I walk home, monarch butterflies. So I'm back talking with the person that we shamaned out of my life for a minute.
I'm so disappointed.
Clearly, I'm not a very good shaman.
No, my choice.
You're fired. You're fired.
My sage did not work.
So the weirdest thing, the night of like hanging out. I was like, literally, middle of the night, monarch butterfly flies in my face walking up to his house.
That butterfly was like, turn around, bitch.
It
Get
was
the
like,
fuck out of
hey,
here. Save yourself.
It's nighttime. I'm a butterfly. Like,
literally.
No, it was
how more in your face?
No,
go on.
I'm sorry. Like, who the fuck?
No,
it was beautiful. No, but listen, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was real. Like, it caught my eye. I was like, that's a like really pretty. What is it like doing right now?
The butterfly was like, he has adult braces.
Stop. Stop. Listen.
Stop. You were talking so much shit about this person literally 2 weeks ago. So absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
take a sip. So it goes on his door. And it was and I open the door in the morning when I'm gonna leave, and it's literally there, and it just flies away. And I'm like, I know it sounds so corny, and like people are probably like, Stella, you're stupid as fuck. But like, I'm just like taking animal, I don't want to say symbolism or like nature in that way of me, just like my walks and everything, just like seeing it. What does it mean? Like what I'm thinking about in the moment of when I'm seeing this animal. Do you get what
I'm curious as to why you're dismissing this, because like the both time when you were like, it's silly, but I like to go in nature. It's silly, but I looked at this butterfly. And you're talking to me, and you know that, like, I am like, remember when you had a dream about a chinchilla?
I know. But see, Johanna laughs when I say things like this, but I'm very,
and then remember when we looked up what a chinchilla meant, and remember how it was exactly right?
Yeah, it was.
It's really weird, and it, like, I mean,
I like how you put blame on me. I'm being shy because she laughs at me.
Johanna
Shut the
laughs
fuck
when
up.
she says my
Listen, I'm right. It's hilarious.
No,
but I'm also the person that's
Johanna,
like, I see a rabbit every single time I go hang out with toxic X number 1, 2, 3. Take your fucking pick. Literally, I would always see. Let me finish.
Okay.
I would always see a rabbit every single time I was like on my way to their house, or on my way to this, or on my or something bad just happened between me and these people that I was very clearly not supposed to be with. And it sounds stupid, but like. Every time.
Not.
And ever since I met those people, left those people, sorry, I have not been seeing them anymore. It's weird. It's like those little weird things. So yeah, you got your butterflies, I got my fucking wabbits, and here we are. We're fucking wacko.
And where's the carrots?
It's wabbit season. I mean, here's the thing. It's like there's different, like when you... people are like, how do you like know what animal symbolism means? And it's like...
Am I saying that? Was that the right word?
There's certain things, but like... where people are like, oh, like bunnies, Easter, rebirth, whatever, but also like bunnies fuck a lot. You know, like there's like these basic kind of thing where it's like, is it a sexual thing? You know, like, is like what?
Oh.
Right? I don't know.
But see, this is what I'm explaining. Like, I don't even know. That's insane. Like, and when I think about those things now, or wherever, like I'm an overthinker. Like I said, so I'm always walking and thinking, listening to music. It's like my time to like zen.
What does overthinking mean, though? You know,
I think I overthink where I like just put the worst possible thing, in my head.
Over one topic, yeah. You just have to like when you recognize that you're doing that, though. It's like, I mean, right now it sounds like you're recognizing that.
Yeah, I know.
The first step is admitting that you
have a
problem, right?
Hi, I'm Stella.
Hi, I'm Stella, and I overthink. And like when you do that, I mean, Again, I'm not good at it, but I have a tattoo on my arm. When you're having a negative thought, think of the opposite thought.
Yeah, and
I don't have it there because I naturally remember it. I have it there because I need it in front of my fucking face every day because I can get so into the repetitive negative thought patterns, right?
Maybe you're a lot deeper than you thought, babe.
I am.
You are.
You know?
I'm very, like, growing up, only child, always outside, always like just very like animals, like nature, playing with bugs, stuff like stupid shit like that. But like I was always very in tuned, and I'm not like I'm not a camper, not the best hiker by where I'm at, or if like
you're
a nice
just a
spot,
child of an alcoholic.
I enjoy it. Yeah. What?
Rocks were my best friend growing up. I was outside by myself all the time.
Wait, did you call me alcoholic?
No, I said you were the child of an alcoholic.
Well, yeah, that too. I just I escaped by going outside. And now I'm taking...
me a bird. Like...
Far, far away. That's my favorite part.
I would
That's
love
my favorite
to be
movie.
reincarnated as a tree or something. I think that'd be amazing.
Really?
I've always wanted to be moss.
See... I don't know. Like I in the death doula world, like you can be buried and become a tree, but I feel like I would really like anthropomorph. I feel like if we were to bury you in a tree pod and you grew into a tree, I would be like, this is Stella the tree, and like
hi, how are
very
you?
right. I'd be like very weird about
You'd be the willow tree from
the
Pocahontas.
tree.
Yeah.
Oh, you would be a good willow
I'd be a
tree.
beautiful
You look
tree.
like a willow tree, like you. Yeah.
With flowing in
I mean,
the
if you
wind.
want to be a willow tree, be a willow tree. Like I'm not, but
if you
I
wanna be a
just
tree,
No,
be a
that's my
tree.
goal.
Like,
I would I want to reincarnate as a tree, and I want to be there forever.
but we can do that. We can
Smokes
do that. We
one
can bury
joint.
you into a pod now and make you a tree
So,
after this lifetime.
Do I have to kill myself now and then
No,
do
but
it?
like whenever you
KMS.
die,
KMS,
whenever you die, you can get buried into one of these tree pod things. You can also get yourself pressed into a piece of coral and have that piece of coral put on the Great Barrier Reef.
Ooh.
Or you can get blasted into outer space. You can get pressed into a diamond.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
That's sexy.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
Love
Kris
that.
Jenner's doing.
I like that idea, but then I've watched like Black Mirror, and then they show like that lady who's like alive in the teddy bear, and I'm like, would there be like a part of me that's like conscious in the
Yikes.
you know?
In the teddy bear.
Ay, ay, ay.
There's probably I just want to like
Just
go
getting
to a
humped
hole
by
in
a
the
9-year-old going through puberty.
ground. I would like.
Did we all have
That's
flashbacks?
hilarious.
I know, I'm very funny.
Get out of
We
here.
have about 5 minutes left.
Do you?
We'll have to have Priscilla back to tell the rest of her story. Absolutely.
Yes. Or
But
do you
we
want
can-
to continue?
No, sorry. I feel like I'm just.
Don't.
talking.
Sorry. No, you're
No,
fine.
this is great. Come on.
Okay. Hurry. Okay. Lizzo, everybody, we've heard about it. She's in big trouble.
Naughty,
she took
naughty.
her she took her dancers to Amsterdam, which is like very notorious for sex stuff and all that good work. And she was forcing her dancers to eat bananas out of
Is
the
that what
sex
happened?
workers' vaginas and stuff. And
I don't know what to believe anymore because of like
What?
AI.
I don't
you know,
believe
I'm like,
that
I don't
shit.
know what happened.
But they were
like,
I
think
don't
about the
believe that
location
shit.
they were
was
at.
that true?
So like it could have been something fun.
No,
maybe
I don't think
I
maybe
that's
it's
don't
true.
know.
maybe they went to like a sex club and they it was a little bit too much and they're like, okay, like, this, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it wasn't her forcing it, but like in that environment or whatever,
You
Amsterdam's
just
probably.
can't trust anybody anymore.
I don't know, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm really, I don't know. Like I want to like believe survivors and everything, but like I'm also,
I don't. Go ahead.
but I'm also like, it sounds like they all went out and they all partied together. And then
Yeah.
it's like I hear about the banana and the vagina thing and I'm like, I want to see a picture of a banana and a vagina, and I want to see Lizzo like holding somebody by the ponytail.
Literally.
You know, like, and I don't see that. And I
Yeah.
just,
Forcing.
like, the government
Like,
said
no.
aliens were real, and everyone's like, I don't give a shit, because, like, there's no
Lizzo's
alien.
putting bananas in
there's
vaginas.
there's just no alien. Like,
Yeah.
where's the alien? And I don't know, where's the banana in the vagina? Like, I don't see these
Seriously.
things in real, like, who's to say, I don't know what anything is
True.
anymore.
You're right.
About anything. I don't know
You're
anything about
absolutely right.
anything.
That's the realest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That is the realest shit I've ever heard in my
Where's
life.
the aliens? Where's the
Where's the
banana in the
banana
vagina?
We need proof here,
We
people.
need proof in the
I
pudding.
want hard evidence of absolutely. I don't believe anything.
I
anybody
feel
says
the
about
exact same
anything
way. And
anymore.
also, like, Cardi B's in trouble right now too. That
Throwing
one was
the
like,
mic.
obviously, like, you hit somebody, you hit the wrong person and whatever. But it's like, people are so quick, and I think the majority of people in that situation would have sued, sure, right? But it's like, I take that experience and how quick that bitch was like, oh, I'm suing you for everything you got. I know you have millions of fucking dollars. Now it's like the situation with Lizzo where it's like, oh, we can all team up together and go against this bitch and make up these stories. And as long as we're all telling the same story, we can get money from this
True.
bitch. You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's
Like,
so
the
easy
story
to convince
can be
yourself that that's true too.
Yeah,
you know, like it's so
absolutely.
easy. Like I feel like there could, like I'm not saying it didn't fucking happen because I don't want people to be like whatever, but like I feel like it's absolutely true where people can turn themselves into the victim in any story.
100%.
And if somebody had a fucking idea where they're like, hey, do you think it was like a little inappropriate? Like I've been bartending forever. Our bar manager goes out, gets drunk, sleeps with the bartender, and it's like nobody says anything. But if
Right.
you wanted to fuck that guy over,
Yeah.
you could go to corporate,
right.
you know,
Absolutely.
like, and I feel like
Absolutely.
it's kind of like that's gotta be part of that whole ecosystem as well,
Yeah.
right? Is like, maybe they were, not saying, I don't know. Like, I wasn't there. I don't know. And so I don't want to say anything like accusatory towards like a victim, but like at the same time, like, did somebody maybe have a change of heart once they realized?
True.
Let's be real. Lizzo's never been anywhere near a banana. So what's the next topic?
Okay, this is sad. Angus Cloud's dead. You know that?
Yeah, I've learned pretty recently that people die.
Yeah,
it just happens.
Let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah,
in the best way possible, since you just lost a very close friend to you.
Sayonara, huh?
Did anybody say how he died finally? Like,
he committed suicide. Right? Yeah. I don't know how he did it, but he committed suicide. Yeah, his dad died. He got really sad. It's
happening a lot. I've known like 2 people who have committed suicide this year, and it's like, and Johanna has as well. One of her close friends. It's really happening, and it's really scary, and it's really sad. And we always say on the pod, check on your friends. Mm-hmm. More than ever, I think you should now, since this is just anyone in the world, you know.
Is there any sort of like correlation or like signs or anything that you feel like you noticed, or was it just like an unnoticeable, like did it just like happen kind of out of nowhere?
It's been like left and right, and not even people I've been close with, just like no, and I'm like, wow, like you would never think someone's struggling as much as they are or what they're going through, and because of everyone puts on a different poker face, so it's crazy to see different circumstances and situations, and it's really sad, and it like it can be anybody. Yeah. It's not just like addicts or. Doesn't matter what you look like, who you know, what you're doing. You could be a family. You could have.
Like Ellen DeGeneres, TJ killed himself.
Yeah. It's like the happiest dancer, but for who knows if he was. You know what he was struggling with.
Oh.
We talked about him.
Twitch.
Yes.
Forgot about that actually.
Yeah. And
R.I.P.
Like, what's up?
Yeah. He was hot. He had a hot wife. He knew how to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. During an era where like black people are cool
like
and
the
hip.
Ellen DeGeneres show, like where everyone was like Ellen before people heard like she was maybe mean.
Yeah.
Another conspiracy theory.
I know.
Right.
Did you ever hear the conspiracy theory that Katy Perry is JonBenet Ramsey? That's my favorite.
No, but that's
theory.
So
will you
funny.
Please look it up on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
My favorite
Katy Perry is JonBenet Ramsey.
JonBenet Ramsey. You're too young.
No, I know. I remember her, but
what year were you born?
99.
What year was JonBenet killed?
I don't remember.
98. 97.
Something around that time. I remember being a child and not
allegedly
really
killed. She could be
allegedly.
She could be Katy Perry.
She could be Katy Perry.
Why
do they think that? The eyeballs or the tits?
It's the eyeballs. It's like they do like a Morphe like
the blue eyes, the bright blue eyes.
It's the bright blue eye. It is. It's exactly. It's like the thing.
Here we are like, I want to see the banana in the vagina, but you're like, hey, it could be her. It could be her. Maybe morphing the fucking photos together. I swear to God.
Who am I to say that?
Amazing.
Are we gonna close out on that?
Yeah. Is there one more? What other topics did you have?
Naked and Afraid guy finds ticks on his penis.
Oh.
Wait, I want to talk about this. The Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Loved
it. I
it.
haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
You haven't? Joins in on the gasp.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the Barbie movie's amazing, but the people who are just like just their life is pink now.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. You're late to the party. Now you're making it tacky. Give it like a year, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, selling Barbie merch and memorabilia on fucking eBay and Instagram Marketplace." How it goes.
I want to talk more about the people that are so mad about the Barbie movie. Yeah. I think that's hilarious.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It was really good.
The memes are good right now on the internet. I will say that.
I'm Barbara, and I'm here to see my gynecologist.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. Well, when you come back, you'll have seen it, and we'll discuss it.
Let's go to the drive-in.
I would love to.
Do you guys like a drive-in?
I love a drive-in.
Get a bucket of chicken.
Fuck yes. You're everything.
Well, a couple joints.
I love Priscilla so much.
We love you.
What are the other ones? Is that it? Angus died.
Yeah, that's
Barbie
it.
girl,
We did it.
Lizzo, we did it. Shamanism. We have to finish your story, so we'll do it another time before you leave, and we'll have a part 2, and it's going to be so good because I want to hear. We only just started at 18, and you are now 35. That's like so much life.
135 years.
You've changed a million times. It's like
the
Tuck
longest
Everlasting.
willow tree to
You
stand.
look like the bitch from Tuck Everlasting. Has anyone ever told you that? Do you know that movie?
I saw it, I feel like, when I was
It was a book, and then they turned it into a movie, and we watched it in school. I'll let you sit on that. I'll Google a photo for you.
We love you, P.
I also want to learn more about Vicky and how she got started, too, the next time we chatted
I want
up.
to hear about how that happened.
I want to hear about a 70-year-old woman becoming a shaman, a shasha.
Vicky Sue, we love you.
I'm going to go see her. Vicky Sue, we love you. Where can we find you, Pris? Do you want to be found?
Sure. My personal Instagram is Glitter Sandwiches.
Amazing.
SAMMICHES. But I also have another account that like I would like people to follow me at because I need to be encouraged to do it again. I was posting about like microdosing and addiction or whatever, and then I stopped. Priscilla Sybin.
Love it. I need
like
to follow that. I don't think I do.
But Priscilla Sybin.
Yeah, we get it.
So
clever.
I got it. Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah. I think that I have that. Like, if you were to go to Glitter Sandwiches, I think it's in my Instagram profile. But I have like 2 Patreon posts from there like a year and a half ago, and
nice.
I was like, I'm gonna talk about like I get so weird about like
no, don't.
I don't want to like sound conceited or full. Like it's just it's so weird.
You should put your energy back into that.
Who am I?
Absolutely.
Like, the more I study this kind of stuff, the more I'm like, I don't know fucking anything, right? And I'm like, who am I to talk about
the
it?
point.
So it's like, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a hard time like taking the initiative to do like Priscilla Sybin stuff or whatever. So I do appreciate you guys like having me here and asking me to talk about it because
of course
we love you.
I feel like there's some stuff where I'm like, I just want to share it to people because I think it could be helpful.
It would be.
And I want people to know like I'm accessible if there's anything like
anything
totally private, non-judgmental. Like I used to get wasted and piss myself and break shit and like I mean
period.
like and
a lot of people can relate.
Cliche, but like if I can get better, fucking anybody can get
absolutely
a little better. And so I need the encouragement to like share that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you guys having me on and
we love you.
acknowledging that. I love you guys.
Obsessed with you. Stella, where can we find you?
444 Stella on Instagram. Johanna.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it. You can find me at johanna.madronda. Look out for the Motor City Comedy Festival, the Windsor Comedy Festival, and everything else that's popping off in my bio. We love you so much.
We love you.
Like,
Thank
share,
you for
subscribe.
listening.
We are 30 listeners away from being able to put ads on this bitch, making more content, having a little bit change in our pockets. So keep that in mind.
Help a hooker out.
Help a hooker out. We love you. See you next week. Bye.
Beautiful.
We did it. We always be doing it.